They were a women's under-20 professional football team, but they ended up losing by a landslide to some 15-year-old kids. The game was a real disaster. You could tell that neither of the two teams had any experience on the field, but what was clear was that the women's team was professional, while the boys they faced were in the sub-15 category. By age and physical development, it was expected the girls' team would have an advantage over the boys' team, but on the field, that wasn't the case, and despite the fact that they both looked very uncoordinated with the ball at their feet, the blue team took the lead very quickly. The chances of danger were very much on one side. The girls didn't get very close to the rival goal, and the under-15s were keeping the position almost all the time as they approached the goal insistently. There didn't seem to be much difference in terms of quality. Both showed almost the same weaknesses, but unbelievably, it was the boys who were more advantaged. The first 20 minutes of the first half ended with 2-0 on the scoreboard in favor of the blue team, but the final result wouldn't be that one, and as soon as they left, the boys again turned to the attack voraciously, looking for the third goal. After several attempts from both sides, the 3-0 finally came in favor of the under-15s, thanks to a gross mistake and an exquisite finish. The female team tried their best to get their heads into the match, but the attempt seemed to fail at all times. The boys in blue were in control of every area of the game and made the professionals look as if they were amateur footballers in this match. The third half would keep the same logic of the other two halves, except that now the blue and whites would be with a much tighter defense, leaving little chance for the opposing team to score the fourth goal. However, of course, apart from the good work, they also had some luck and help from the crossbar. The match finally ended with a score of 3-0 in favor of the under-15 youth team, who gave an incredible display of talent against a professional under-20 team. Matches like this are repeated all over the world. And of course, they are a good form of training for the under-15 players as well as for the professional players who are part of the women's teams. Something like this is what happened in Switzerland when the women's team of FC Zurich played against the men's team of 15 years or less from the same club. However, here, despite the fact that the match was won by the girls of the first team, the result would quickly change and end up turning into a scandalous dance performed by the white team. As soon as they had the chance, they tied the match to then take the lead in the blink of an eye. The 1-1 clearly wasn't enough, and it didn't matter that it was a training match. Both wanted to win, and the under-15s got closer and closer to this. The 2-1 was enough, but they weren't happy with that. The scoreboard was getting bigger and bigger by the goals, and they weren't going to stay only with the 3-1. The white team will soon impose all its efficiency in front of the rival goal, and the difference between the teams even more. As the 4-1 didn't seem to be enough either, the under-15 team would finally close the match with 2 more goals to leave a legendary victory in the memory of the Swiss club and its different divisions.